Right. Welcome to the Friday meeting of the Better Living Group. My name is Akash and I'm eager to live a better life. Hello. Currently, we are reading from the book named Atomic Habits and we are on the chapter 10, which says how to find and fix the causes of your bad habits. The text to read will be shared during the meeting. We still encourage for you to have a hard copy of this book. Group's preamble. The primary purpose of the Better Living Group is to carry its message to a person who is eager to live a better life. We alter our life with balanced living. There are no dues or fees for the membership. Guiding principles. I'm gonna skip them. This is about a 45 minutes meeting. We've already taken 7 minutes. That means 38 minutes left. And giving the time, I'm gonna start reading right away. Yeah, it's a 30 minutes reading, about 2 chapters or 1 chapter followed by the sharing. Yeah, so I'm gonna start the reading part. How to find and fix the causes of your bad habits. In late 2012, I was sitting in an old apartment just a few blocks away from the Istanbul's most famous street, Istiklal Caddesi. I was in the middle of the 4-day trip to Turkey and my guide, Mike, was relaxing in a worn-out armchair a few feet away. Mike wasn't really a guide. He was just a guy from mine who had been living in Turkey for 5 years. He offered me to show me around while I was visiting the country and I took up on it. On this particular night, I was invited to dinner with him and a handful of his Turkish friends. There were 7 of us, and I was the only who hadn't at some point smoked or at least 1 pack of cigarettes per day. I asked one of the Turks how he got started. Friends, he said. It always starts with your friends. One friend smokes, then you try it. What was truly fascinating was the half of the people in the room had managed to quit smoking. Mike had been smoke-free for a few years at that point, and he swore up and down that he broke the habit because of the book called Alan Carr's Easy Way to Stop Smoking. It frees you from your mental burden of smoking, he said. It tells you, stop lying to yourself. You know you don't actually want to smoke. You know you don't really enjoy this. It helps you feel like you are not the victim anymore. You start to realize that you don't need to smoke. I had never tried a cigarette. However, I took a look at the book afterward out of curiosity. The author employs an interesting strategy to help smokers eliminate their cravings. He systematically reframes each cue associated with the cue and give it a new meaning. He says things like, you think you are quitting something, however, you're not quitting anything because cigarettes do nothing for you. You think smoking is something that you need to be for social? It's not. You have to be social without smoking as well. You think smoking is about relieving stress? It's not. Smoking does not relieve your nerves, it destroys them. Over and over, he repeats these phrases and others like them. Get it clearly into your mind, he says. You are losing nothing and you are making marvelous positive gains, not only in health, energy, and money, however, also in confidence, self respect, freedom, and most important of all, in the length and the quality of your future life. By the time you get to the end of this book, smoking seems like the most ridiculous things in the world to do. And when you no longer accept smoking to bring you any benefit, you have no reason to smoke. It is an inversion of the second law of the behavior change. Make it unattractive. Now, I know this idea might sound overly simplistic. This change in just craving, where every behavior has a surface level craving and a deeper underlying motive. I often have a craving that goes something like this: I want to eat tacos. When you are to ask why I want to eat tacos, I wouldn't say because I need food to survive. However, the truth is, somewhere deep down, I am motivated to eat tacos because I have to eat to survive. The underlying motive is to obtain food and water even when my specific craving is for taco. Some of the underlying motives include conserve energy, obtain food and water, find love and reproduce, connect and bond with others, win social acceptance and approvals, reduce uncertainty, achieve status and prestige. A craving is just a specific manifestation of the deeper underlying motives. Your brain did not evolve with a desire to smoke cigarettes or check Instagram or to play video games. At a deep level, you simply want to reduce uncertainty and relieve anxiety to win social acceptance and approval, or to achieve status. Look at nearly any product that is habit forming, and you will see that it does not create a new motivation. However, rather latches onto the underlying motives of the human nature. Find love and reproduce using Tinder. Connect and bond with others browsing Facebook. Win social acceptance and approval posting on Instagram. Reduce uncertainty searching on Google. Achieve status and prestige playing video games. Your habits are modern day solution to ancient desires. New version of old vices. The underlying motives behind human behavior remains the same. The specific habits we perform differ based on the period of history. Here is the parallel part. There are many different ways to address the same underlying motives. One person might learn to reduce stress by smoking a cigarette. Another person learns to ease their anxiety by going for a run. Your current habits are not necessarily the best way to solve the challenge you face. They are just the methods you learn to use. Once you associate a solution with the challenge you need to solve, you keep coming back to it. Habits are all about associations. The association determines whether we predict a habit to be worth repeating or not. As we covered in our discussions of the first law, your brain is continually absorbing information and noticing cues in the environment. Every time you perceive a cue, your brain runs a simulation, makes a prediction about what to do in the next moment. Cue. You notice that the stove is hot. Prediction. You touch it, you get burned. So I should avoid touching it. Cue. You see that the traffic light turned green. Prediction. I step on gas, I make it safely through the intersection and get closer to my destination. Step on the gas. You see a past experience and determine the appropriate response. This all happens in an instant. However, it plays a crucial role in your habits because every action is preceded by prediction. Life feels reactive, however, it is actually predictive. All day long, you are making your best guess of how to act given what you have just seen and what has worked for you in the past. You are endlessly predicting what will happen in your next moment. Our behavior is heavily dependent on these predictions. Put another way, our behavior is heavily dependent on how we interpret the events that happen to us, not necessarily the objective reality of the events themselves. Two people can look at the same cigarette and one feels the urge to smoke while other is repulsed by the smell. The same cue can spark a good habit or a bad habit depending on your prediction. This cause of your habits is actually the prediction that precedes them. These predictions leads to a feeling, which is how we typically describe a craving, a feeling, a desire, and an urge. Feeling and emotions transform the cues we perceive and the predictions we make into a signal that we can apply. They help explain that what we are currently sensing. For instance, whether or not realize it, you are noticing how warm and cold you feel right now. When the temperature drops by 1 degree, you probably won't do anything. When the temperature drops by 10 degrees, however, you feel cold and put another layer of clothing. Feeling cold was the signal that prompted you to act, and you have been sensing the cues the entire time. However, it is only when you predict that you would be better off in a different state that you take action. A craving is the sense that something is missing. It is a desire to change your internal state. When the temperature falls to raise a gap between your body is currently sensing and what it wants to be sensing. This gap between your current state and your desired state provides a reason to act. Desire is the difference between where you are now and where you want to be in future. Even the tiniest action is tinged with a motivation to feel differently than you do in the moment. When you binge eat or light up or browse social media, what you really want is not a potato or a cigarette or a bunch of likes. What you really want is to feel different. Our feelings and emotions tell us whether to hold steady in our current state or to make a change. They help you decide the best course of actions. Neurologists have discovered that when emotions and feelings are impaired, we actually lose the ability to make decisions. We have no signals of what to pursue and what to avoid. As the neuroscientist Antonio Damasio explains, it is emotion that allows you to mark things as good or bad or different. To summarize, the specific craving you feel and habits you perform are really an attempt to address your fundamental underlying motives. Whenever a habit successfully addresses a motive, you develop a craving to do it again. In time, you learn to predict that checking social media will help you feel loved or watching YouTube will allow you to forget your fears. Habits are attractive when we associate them with the positive feelings, and we can use this insight to our advantage rather than to our detriment. I'm going to continue the reading and complete the chapter for another 2 pages we have left. How to program your brain to enjoy hard habits. You can make hard habits more attractive when you learn to associate them with a positive experience. Sometimes all you need is a slight mindset shift. For instance, we often talk about everything we have to do in a given day. You have to wake up early for work. You have to make another sales call for your business. And you have to cook dinner for your family. Now imagine changing just one word. You don't have to, you get to. You get to wake up early for work. You get to make another sales call for your business. You get to cook dinner for your family. By simply changing one word, you shift the way you reach each even. You transition from seeing these behaviors as burdens and turn them into opportunities. The key point is that both versions of reality are true. You have to do those things and you have to get to do them. We can find evidence for whatever mindset we choose. I once heard a story about a man who uses a wheelchair. When asked if he finds his life difficult, he responded, I am liberated by it. When this wasn't for my wheelchair, I would be bedbound and never be able to leave my house. This shift in perspective completely transformed how we live each day, reframing your habits to highlight their benefits rather than the drawback is a fast and lightweight way to program and reprogram your mind and to make a habit seem more attractive. Exercise. Many people associate exercise with being a challenging task that drains energy and wears you down. You can just as easily view it as a way to develop skill and build you up. Instead of telling yourself, I need to go to run in the morning, say it's time to build endurance and get fast. Finance, saving money is often associated with sacrifice. However, you can associate it with freedom rather than limitation when you realize one simple truth. Living below your current means increases your future means. The money you save this month increases your purchasing power next month. Meditation. Anyone who has tried meditation for more than 3 seconds knows how frustrating it can be when the next distraction inevitably pops into your mind. You can transform frustration into delight when you realize that each interruption gives you a chance to practice returning to your breath. Distraction is a good thing because you need distraction to practice meditation. Pre-game jitters. Many people feel anxious before delivering a big presentation or competing in an important event. They experience quick breathing, a faster heart rate, or heightened arousal. When we interpret these feelings negatively, then we feel threatened and tense up. When we interpret these feelings positively, then we can respond with fluidity and grace. You can reframe, I'm nervous as to I'm excited and I'm getting an adrenaline rush to help me concentrate. These little mindsets aren't magic. However, they can help change the feelings you associate with a particular habit or situation. When you want to take it a step further, you can create a motivation ritual. You simply practice associating your habits with something you enjoy. Then you can use that cue whenever you need a bit of motivation. For example, you always play a same song before having sex, then you will begin to link music with that act. Whenever you want to get in the mood, just press play. Add Larry Moore, a boxer and writer from Pittsburgh, benefited from a similar strategy without knowing it. On realization, he wrote, my focus and concentration goes up just by putting my headphones on while writing. I don't even have to play any music. Without realizing, he was conditioning himself. In the beginning, he put his headphones on, played some music he enjoyed, and did some focused work. After doing it for 5, 10, 20 minutes, putting his headphones on the became a cue that he automatically associated with increased focus. The craving followed naturally. Athletes use similar strategies to get themselves in the mindset to perform. During my baseball career, I developed a specific ritual of stretching and throwing before each game. The whole sequence took about 10 minutes, and I did it the same way every single time. While it physically warmed me up to play, more importantly, it put me up in the right mental state. I began to associate my pre-game ritual with the feeling of competitive and focused. Even when I was motivated beforehand, by the time I was done with my ritual, I was in my game mode. You can adopt this strategy for nearly any purpose. Say you want to feel happier in general. Find someone that makes you truly happy, like petting your dog or taking a bubble bath, and then create a short routine that you perform every time before you do the thing you love. Maybe you take 3 deep breaths and smile. 3 deep breaths, smile, pet the dog, repeat. Eventually, you will begin to associate this breath and smile routine with being in the good mood. It becomes a cue that means feeling happy. Once established, you can break it out anytime you need to change your emotional state. Stressed at work? Take 3 deep breaths and smile. Sad about life? Take 3 deep breaths and smile. Once a habit has been built, the cue can prompt a craving, even it has little to do with the original situation. The key to finding and fixing the causes of your bad habit is to reframe the associations you have about them. It's not easy. However, when you can reprogram your predictions, you can transform a hard habit into an effective one. Chapter summary. The inversion of the second law of behavior change is to make it unattractive. Every behavior has the surface level cravings and a deeper underlying motives. Your habits are modern day solutions to the ancient desires. The cause of your habits is actually the prediction that precedes them. The prediction leads the feeling. Highlight the benefits of avoiding a bad habits to make it seem attractive. Habits are attractive when we associate them with the positive feelings and unattractive when we associate them with the negative feelings. Create a motivation ritual by doing something you enjoy immediately before a typical difficult habit. How to create a good habit? The first law, make it obvious. Fill out the habit scorecard. Write down your current habits to become aware of them. Use the implementation intention. I will do this behavior at this time in this location. 1.3 Use habit stacking. After correct habit, I will do this new habit. 1.4 Design your environment. Make the cues of good habits obvious and simple. The second law, make it attractive. 1. Use temptation bundling. Pair an action you want to do with an action you need to do. Join the culture where the desired behavior is the normal behavior. Create a motivation ritual. Do something you enjoy immediately before a difficult habit. The third law is make it easy, and the fourth, make it satisfying. Obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. And how to make it bad habit, how to break a bad habit. Inversion of the first law, make it invisible. Reduce the exposure, remove the cues of your bad habits from your environment. Inversion of the second law, make it unattractive. Reframe your mindset. Highlight the benefit of avoiding your bad habits. Inversion of the third law, make it difficult. Inversion of the fourth law, make it unsatisfying. Make it invisible, make it invisible, unattractive, difficult, and unsatisfying. Wow. Okay. We're going to start chapter 11. Amrish, would like to take it ahead?
No, please continue.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead with a couple of pages now. Apart from we've been covering one chapter, I'm just going to take two more pages. So the next time we have 1.5 chapter left.
Okay.
So yeah, with your permission, I'm going to continue. 5 minutes. Chapter 11. Walk slowly, never backwards. On the first day of class, Jeremy Yulesman, a professor at the University of Florida, divided his film photography students into two groups. Everyone on the left side of the classroom, he explained, would be in the quantity group. They would be graded solely on the amount of work they produced. On the final day of class, he would tally the number of photos submitted by each student. 100 photos would rate an A, 19 photo a B, and 80 photos a C, and so on. Meanwhile, everyone on the right side of the room would be in the quality group. They would be graded only on the excellence of their work. They would only need to produce one photo during the semester. At the end of the term, he was surprised to find that all the best photos were produced by the quantity group. During the semester, these students were busy taking photos, experimenting with the composition and lighting, testing out various methods in darkroom, and learning from their mistakes. In the process of creating hundreds of photos, they honed their skills. Meanwhile, the quality group sat around speculating about perfection. In the end, they had little to show up for their effort other than unverified theories and one mediocre photo. It's easy to get bogged down trying to find the optimal plan for the change. The fastest way to lose weight, the best program to build muscle, the perfect idea for side hustle. We are so focused on figuring out the best approach that never get turned around taking an action. As Voltaire once wrote, the best is the enemy of the good. I refer to this as the difference between being in motion and taking action. The two ideas sound similar, however, they are not the same. When you are in the motion, you're planning and strategizing and learning. Those are all good things. However, don't produce results. Actions, on the other hand, is the type of behavior that will deliver an outcome. When I outline 20 ideas for article I want to write, that's the motion. I actually sit down and write an article. That's an action. When I search for the better diet plan and read a few books on the topic, that's the motion. When I actually eat healthy meal, that's an action. Sometimes motions is useful, however, it will never produce an outcome by itself. And it does not matter how many times you go talk to the personal trainer, the motion will never get you in the shape. Only the action of working out will get the results you're looking to achieve. When motion does not lead to results, why do we do it? Sometimes we do it because we actually need to plan or learn more. However, more often than not, we do it because motion allows us to feel like we're making progress without running the risk of failure. Most of us are experts at avoiding criticism. It does not feel good to fail or to be judged publicly. So we tend to avoid situations where that might happen. And that's the biggest reason why you slip into the motion rather than taking action. You want to delay failure. It's easy to be in the motion and convince yourself that you're still making progress. You think I've got conversation going with four potential clients right now. That is good. We are moving in the right direction. Or I brainstormed some ideas for that book I want to write. This is coming together. Motion makes you feel like you're getting things done. However, really, you're just preparing to get something done. When preparation becomes a form of procrastination, you need to change something. You need to change something. You don't want to merely be planning, you want to be practicing. When you want to master a habit, the key is to start with repetition, not perfection. You don't need a map out every feature of a new habit. You just need to practice it. This is the first takeaway of the third law. You just need to get your reps done. And we are open for shares.
Thanks, Akash. There was an instance when I use headphones up whenever I want to focus and concentrate on the work. So I have tried and tested, so it works. It always works. And my educational days when I was in 12th, I used to study the mathematics, playing some music in the background, and it helped me to study on the longer stretch as in 4 to 5 hours in a go, and then a break of 10 to 15 minutes, then another stretch. So yes, this works using the headphones up, and even in the job right now, I sometimes whenever I need to focus or concentrate, I use my headphones, play some music without any lyrics, and just go ahead. Yeah, that's all I wanted to share. Thank you.
Thanks, Amrish. Here, grateful to be a part of this wonderful fellowship. You people are awesome, and I've missed you from last 15 days. I've been traveling, and I was just reflecting that have I read this book? Because last time I read, I was maybe very sleepy, or I don't know. I mean, this time it was a completely never backward. This I just read 2 pages, and it was such inspiring text, and this literature is so good. It's my mental protein. Really good, yeah. And this third, uh, these laws that he has put make it obvious, attractive, and easy. When I go in, when I read, and when I reflect, I get a lot of I get a lot of got moments. I've got inspired thoughts which happened in my journal. Those thoughts really rate me because they shape my soul. Yeah, and I think or any book I read is a God gift to me that I can read fast and I can read with quality in the order. It's stimulated in my brain and I come up with beautiful ideas. I think of my life and uh, and how uh, and his shoulders, cleaning his pants, and starting what trying to uh, my original position. Sometimes I'm so I was motivated. I was beaten brutally by the failures because it was asked from the IBM founder that how to become it. And I quote, double the rate of failures. That's it. And the habits, I cannot tell you how many habits in my arsenal. Yes, I did so I see, and I see the best habit that happened to me was that I was my craving or my 10 years of addiction of nicotine, that's tobacco, chewing tobacco, was taken away from me. And now how I know how disgusting it feels. I know how pathetic it is, and how it takes me to the bad places because this product is available on those places where it is a breeding ground of I would say I would rather not say negativity. It is a breeding ground of bad influences. Yeah, and I'm really so happy because I feel a royalty in me right now. I feel like His Holy Highness. Yeah, and this has been the good feeling for the last 4 months. And this meeting and this book has played a lot part of it. And I'm really grateful. I don't know how much we have been able to change together. My life has been changed significantly. And I pray to God that how my life has changed, I shall take this forward and start another meeting where we can help people to overcome from addictions like smoking or tobacco or something like this using this book, maybe or something like that. Let's see how it goes. I just come back and I have to get my priorities straightened up and I have to get a few things in order. And I need to focus now completely on the better living group and the meetings. And um, this has been a real pleasure doing this. Even it's just two people because I know it's lonely at top, yeah, and very few people with a few mindset, with few understanding uh, can find these. These are the holiest of the places right now to me. This is very sacred. So, with that note, I'm just going to conclude my sharing with 5 minutes left. Any sharing, we are open for that. All right. Seems like people are busy. That's okay. Thank you for coming. I'm really glad you're here. Next meeting of this group is Monday. May I remind that we are doing the book marathon. We have already read it once, and we are just revising it, as you may call it. We might skip few portions. However, we're gonna take it to the end. We are not sure. Let's see. Let's talk maybe after the meeting. Decide our priorities what they are. You can access the recording of this session later on YouTube. Please ask me for more details. And of course, your prayer. I like this prayer, so just taken this opportunity to share it with you. And yeah, with your mic open, with your mic closed, with your voice or not, you can follow or not. I'm gonna recite this prayer, and you can just go along. It goes like this: Holy Father, allow me the luxury of your will. Holy Father, allow me the luxury of your will. I'm going to shoot, and I'm going to shoot to kill. Allow me the luxury of your will, and I know you for real, and I carry your look and feel. Allow me the luxury of your will. Holy Father, I am the man of commitment, and I'm the man who wrote their word. Holy Father, allow me the luxury of your will, because today when I rise, work comes to still. Father, today I have my party shoes on. And this concludes our session for today. Thank you everybody for coming up.
Thanks, Akash. Wonderful.